Hey Messiah, we're keeping our community strong by staying connected to one another and connected to Jesus. Today's video devotion comes to us from Becky Gill.
Hi Messiah, it is Becky, and we're exploring different Bible study methods using the Book of Ruth. So today I'd like to share with you my thoughts using the biographical method. So I'll share a couple of things that I've learned and then offer a prayer for you. So I was assigned to study the character of Ruth using the biographical method. And I think the thing that I learned the most this time through the Book of Ruth, because I've studied it in the past occasionally, is I think usually I focus a lot on Ruth's loyalty and how she loved Naomi and was a very faithful friend to her. But this time, I think I really realized the boldness of Ruth and just how many risks that she had to take and how that must have been pretty terrifying for her to decide to leave her homeland and everything she knew to go with Naomi in the first place, then to participate in gathering grain in a way that she definitely could have been ostracized as a foreigner and mistreated as a woman. And then to take Naomi's plan to go to Boaz and basically propose to him. These are all really risky things that she did, and yet she was willing to be bold and do those things and trust that God would care for her in the midst of that. And ultimately, we see the happy ending that she does get as a result of her willingness to risk in those ways. And I think that has been shaping me as I also am thinking through what does it look like sometimes when there are things that God might be calling me to that involve taking risks. And I tend to be a person who likes to plan everything out and know that things are headed in a certain direction. But this year especially, there's been a lot of curveballs, and I'm learning that sometimes trusting God means not just standing around and waiting and hoping that someone else will step up, but to actually jump in and take the risks in faith and trust that God has my back in the midst of it. And lastly, I've been thinking about what other parts of the Bible it would be fun to study in this biographical method. And I think for me, I would like to study the Book of Acts with this, because I think there's just so many interesting characters that interact with each other and are just basically trying to figure out what does it mean to be a Christian and live as Christians, and the newness of all that. And I think it would be really helpful to study that and look at each of the different characters and try to see things from their point of view and how they fit into that story. So, will you pray with me? Jesus, I thank you so much that you have promised to be there for us, even as you call us into risky things sometimes. And I thank you for the example that Ruth is. And I pray that you will help us to continue to trust you and step into the things that you are calling us to. Amen.